Hi everyone, it's Suzanne Castle. It's Training Tuesday. I'm coming from an alternate location today where I am still helping to coordinate some tornado relief. I apologize for not being here last week, but the world gets weird, doesn't it, from time to time? And so we take what we can and we show up when we can. And I am glad that you are here on Training Tuesday. So speaking of, let me know where you're watching from. Let me know in the comments. You might be live, great. You might be replay, awesome. I'd just like to know that you're here. You might need to give StreamYard permission beforehand, and I would love any comments along the way, and we'll pop those on the screen. I'm very excited to be talking to you today about roadblocks, which might seem an odd little thing to be excited about. But honestly, I am thrilled because we often think about success in the positive. And all month long, I've been talking about abundance. I'm getting ready for a big event this weekend, actually, talking about more and how you can have more ease and joy and love in your world. And I think we tend to put success in the positive, don't we? There's nothing wrong with that. I don't want you to ever hear me say anything other than that because I love to live in positivity. And when we do that, we say succeeding is about what you do. Okay, are you tracking with me so far? But I also think it's worth bearing in mind that there are some actions that we can take that actually impede our success, right? We put up our own roadblocks, we do things that we don't even quite understand, and those things can keep us from reaching our full potential. That's what I want to dive into today. So I've come up with 5. They're on a little post-it note next to me if my eyeballs get a little wonky, because I want us to talk about roadblocks that we do, sometimes unintentionally so, that might hinder our success and therefore our abundance. And the first one is how we make excuses. Do you ever find yourself making excuses? You know, when you experience a setback, it's worth spending some time analyzing what you could have done better. That's a really important practice. Too often, however, what I find in my own practice is that people waste time coming up with excuses. This is why I didn't get that done and back to you. Well, my dog ate my homework, right? It can it can feel it can feel like you're kind of relieved maybe to have a convenient excuse that you can blame your struggles on. I totally get that. But few people that you interact with on the daily are concerned about those things. Think about it. Whether you've missed a lunch date, maybe, or you failed to meet a deadline, maybe you didn't pay a bill on time, making excuses won't help you reach your goals. In fact, it's a practice that actually keeps you stuck, because when you're making an excuse, you don't tell your brain, "Hey brain, I need you to be looking for a possibility instead." So, one thing that we do, you might just want to check and keep track. Am I making an excuse for behavior or lack of success or not taking action on something? Then we target that, not all the reasons why you didn't, but the space that you have found yourself in. Another thing that I find, another roadblock that people put up frequently, is about settling for less than you actually deserve. And this is an easy trap to fall into, because many people fail to fully understand their potential. And so they end up settling for less. Its worth, its value, right? And there is some comfort, I think, in the status quo, but settling can be a major roadblock that's going to get in the way of any progress that you're trying to make. If you're unsatisfied with your current job, moving to a new one can be difficult because you have to do interviews, right? You have to get your LinkedIn profile back. You have to get a resume together, maybe some new recommendations. The anxiety maybe about making a major life transition. All of those things are part of that. However, when you fail to seek out the new job, it really can prevent you from reaching your goals. Sometimes just the process of doing that helps you see possibilities in your own current circumstance. This effect is present in your personal life as well, though. It's not just job related. Let's say your partner doesn't give you the respect that you deserve, or doesn't share in your ambition, or maybe you risk out missing on a relationship that helps you thrive both personally and professionally. So taking a moment to just say, hey, am I really taking on life and getting what I need? Am I feeling valued here? Do I get worth from the work or the relationships that I'm in? Spend some time there reflecting, because I promise it's an easy roadblock that lots of people fall into. Let's do another one. How about living in the future? No. I talk about this all the time. In fact, I take my clients through visioning expectations so that we can land into our future self and then make that come into pass. And setting goals to strive 4, it actually helps you provide guidance and motivation, but you need to live in the present, not the future. You can vision cast and you can imagine what that looks like to help you possibility think for your present. But you probably have more opportunities present to you today than you maybe actually realize. So, for example, maybe you're planning on losing weight in the future. If so, don't let that get in the way of upgrading your wardrobe today. Do you plan on sharing your insight, maybe your business success at a TEDx talk? I was just speaking to someone who is asking me some questions about that. Well, but maybe you worry that your 2-year-old business isn't mature enough. Do you see what happens when this you then spin about the things that are out of your control? But you should apply anyway for the TEDx, for example, because it might take 2 or 3 years to get that. So you might be surprised at the responses that you get, but you need to be future casting, but doing present action on the future work. Does this make sense? Like, let me know in the chat if you're landing on this. Okay. This is kind of a difficult concept and one I think that a lot of people probably need a coach for, but really understanding how to vision into the future and then translate that to present action is really an important way to move forward. So let's do a 4th roadblock that I see a lot, which is believing that you can't change, right? So part of us being stuck is, and a big misconception that we have is that people kind of develop internally, this language that they have is that they're incapable of real change. I might have superficial change, or the change isn't going to stick, right? We've all been there. We often look to our past and we think that that past story, that past narrative, it's reflective of what our future will be. Well, here's the thing. No person is incapable of changing and improving their mindset if all you do is stay stuck in your past. You're in control of your life. You are. And you are also the only one who can define what you will bring with you and what your present looks like and what your future can be. So even if you've learned otherwise, even if all the things have told you don't do this, don't do that while you were growing up, or even last year, or even pre-COVID, you are the captain of your ship, so start acting like it. You're the CEO of your life, so start acting like it. Don't be an employee in your own lifestyle, right? Take charge, understand what you need and what you want, and then we can work towards making that change come to life. Okay, let's talk about the last one. This is a biggie. Mistaking greed for abundance. Keep in mind what abundance is. We've been talking about it all month long. There are enough resources in the world for everyone. That's abundance. Greed, on the other hand, is about hoarding, holding on to, clutching with all that you've got resources for your own personal use or just your teeny tiny little fiefdom. When you mistake greed for abundance, you start thinking about and fearing scarcity. And when you are stuck in scarcity mode, that's also lack thinking. And lack thinking will lead to poor decision making. Do you see how that works? Make sure to practice sharing abundance with others so that you can practice what it feels like and you can live into that feeling every day. Not only will you be providing blessings to others, but you're also then going to keep focusing with your brain, more abundance, more abundance. Let me look for abundance. Let me give, let me give, let me receive, let me receive. And that's the way that it works in your own life. You know, one of the most insidious parts of these roadblocks is actually how difficult they can be to notice in yourself. I totally understand that. That's why I'm a big advocate for coaching, for having a sparkle squad around you, for having those people that can speak truth into your current circumstance. And I think that part of taking a proactive approach, which obviously you want to or you wouldn't be here, and is actively monitoring if you're blocking your own road to success, and you might need help doing that. And by knocking roadblocks out of the way, you actually clear the path for sustained success. And that's what I'm all about, joyful success, right? So let's focus on a shifting to an abundance mindset instead. You see, everything in life has an opposite, a yin and a yang. These roadblocks above that we've just been talking about, those 5, they may be contributing to limiting beliefs. But the good news is that you can shift your mindset away from these roadblocks and back into abundance. So that's what we're doing on Saturday. So this Saturday, April the 2nd, if you're catching this replay, is we're diving deep for about 3 hours on Saturday morning into abundance and the ways that you can shift those limiting beliefs towards abundance with tools and resources, tips and tricks, all of these things that get packaged together for you. I believe that abundance was what opens up the world and allows you to dream big. I believe that. And limiting beliefs are what keeps you stagnant in life, keeps you stuck, keeps you shuffling day to day on that hamster wheel that goes nowhere. And if you're tired of that, then I want to see you on Saturday. Which would you rather experience, abundance or the hamster wheel? All right. So, what I want you to do is grab your seat. Tickets are only $47. Everyone that's live gets a special goodie above and beyond that that's worth about 200. Your tools and tricks and resources are worth about another 150. So $47. Come spend 3 hours with me. We're going to dive deep, and it's not just me talking. We're actually going to start doing the work on the way that it needs to look like in your own life. If you're interested in more, this half-day workshop, you can just Google more and it'll show up, or let me know below and I'll send you a direct link. And if you're interested and money is something that keep you holding your back, send me a message. Let's figure it out. Okay. Let's figure out getting you in the room. And those of you that have already asked, yes, there will be a replay, but only if you register. So this is so hard work we're going to do together, and I can't wait to see you there for more. I am Suzanne Castle. You can find out more about me and all the courses and coaching and speaking that I'm doing. Let's get you lit up for your life, and let's get you out of those roadblocks and onto success. Okay. Have a wonderful Tuesday. I'll see you next week.